In today's society, people are still being bought and sold. People are still being subject to slavery, and this is wrong. And this is what Hope for Justice is committed to bringing about the end of. It's committed to bringing about the end of human trafficking. Human trafficking refers to the sale of, transport and profit from people who are forced to work for others against their will. Every year, 1.2 million children, 1.2 million children are subject to human trafficking. This statistic is appalling, and Hope for Justice work to change this. They also empower people to help make a difference too. We have a God that is the standard of justice. Psalm 9 tells us that the Lord is known by his justice, and human trafficking is an example of injustice. Gary Hogan, who's the CEO of International Justice Mission, states that injustice occurs when power is misused to take from others what God has given them, namely their life, dignity, liberty, or the fruits of their love and labour. Fundamentally, injustice is about the abuse of power, and human trafficking is an example of a massive abuse of power. The people in power lie to those without it, offering them false promises of a better life. It is the oppression of people taking away their right to their freedom. It may sound like a problem that goes on in other countries, but the truth is it's happening right on our doorstep. Barnardos say that in London alone, that's London, our capital city, 1,000 children are at risk of sexual exploitation. Hope for Justice wants to eradicate this. You can see on its website that it has 4 main fronts on which it is working towards bringing about the end of trafficking. These are by number 1, investigating and bringing about the rescue of victims from the abuse of human trafficking. By number 2, assisting in the protection and rehabilitation of victims. Number 3, ensuring perpetrators are held responsible for their crimes via prosecution. And number 4, campaigning at local, national and international level to ensure the laws on human trafficking work effectively to combat the problem. Human trafficking is an international problem. It's a global problem, but also it's a UK problem, and that's what Hope for Justice is saying. It's a UK problem and we need to be the solution. Hope for Justice rescues girls that have been forced into prostitution and are held there by force or threat of force. It brings hope to these girls who have had little left to hope for, and brings them a fresh life. It establishes them in aftercare centres where they can learn to basically be free again, learn to not be subject to all of this abuse and oppression, people taking advantage of them. People are able to get involved in the work of Hope for Justice in many ways. You can join an Act for Justice group. This is people coming together all over the UK in groups, working together to raise awareness of the issue, to fundraise, basically just do what they can in the rescue of trafficked victims. People can support financially. This helps Hope for Justice carry out its work. It enables investigation teams to go out and do what they need to do. And also fundamentally, people can pray for Hope for Justice, for the work that it's doing, for the people it's rescuing, for the people that are involved. Yeah, pray. Isaiah 61 is what Hope for Justice is all about. It's what God has called his people to do. It says, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners." This is what Hope for Justice is about.